Once upon a time, in a busy city, there lived a pair of bright yellow gloved hands. They were fun, intelligent, and hard-working. They could wiggle their fingers and say, "Okay." They were good citizens in their city. They were very friendly gloved hands, and they liked people. They wanted to get to know some other gloved hands, so they decided to go out and meet them. When the yellow gloved hands saw the other gloved hands, they reached out to them, but they were not friendly. They thought they were really weird looking because the yellow gloves weren't red or gray or orange like them. They certainly wouldn't fit into their group. So when they pointed at them, they shook their fists at them. They pulled away from them. "Bah, stupid yellow gloves," they said. "Get out of here. Ugh. Don't let them touch you. They'll poison us all. Run, run." The yellow gloved hands felt so terrible that they turned their back, they slumped down, and began to cry. The other gloved hands were certainly glad to get rid of them, but they wanted to make sure they didn't come back because they were not their kind at all. They wanted to make that very clear. So they huddled together and they made a plan to beat them up and hurt them so they would be sure to understand who was in charge here and they would never return. They would be rid of them forever. Silently and calmly, they moved toward the yellow-gloved hands. Suddenly, they pounced on the unsuspecting yellow-gloved hands with quick movements. With a loud blow and a wallop, they pounded the poor yellow-gloved hands. With a clenched fist, they hit them again and again. They knocked them to the ground. When they got up, they knocked them down again. In all of the commotion and hassle, they pulled the yellow gloves right off the hands. The red, gray, and orange gloved hands were so surprised at what happened that they pulled back in utter shock. They looked at each other. The red glove removed the gray glove. The gray glove removed the orange glove. And the orange glove took off the red glove. They looked back at the hands they had beaten. Why, they were all the same on the inside. There was hardly any difference at all. Gently and tenderly, the hands came together as friends do. They realized each one was okay, one of God's children, apart from the world. But most of all, they needed each other. God had given each one gifts to be shared. So they shook hands and hugged and hoped that maybe their friendship would be an inspiration to everyone and they might make a small difference in the world.